Now that we've created one electric poster using the image that you chose previously, we're going to duplicate it and make some modifications. So the first thing I want to do is I want to use this folder icon right here. But before I do, I'm going to click on this layer, scroll all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to hold down my Shift key on my keyboard and click on this layer too. So notice they're all highlighted. Click on the top, go to the bottom one right here, hold down your Shift key and click again. Now I'm going to click on this folder. And when I do, it takes them and puts them all in this group folder for me. There they all are. I'm going to rename it Poster 1. So I've got my first poster. Now I want to duplicate this poster. So I'm going to select this icon here and I'm going to duplicate this entire group. I'll call it Poster 2. So I'll turn off the eye on this poster group. I'm going to open up this new poster group and I'm going to make some changes to the existing poster. I'm going to start by changing out this color. So I'm going to double click on this icon right here and it brings up the color picker again. I'm going to choose a different color that I want to use. I'm going to go with this red, I think, this bright red, and click OK. So I've just made a simple change by changing out the color. I'm going to go to my text layer, click on it. Here's my effects. I'm going to select these effects, double click that layer, double click it, and it will bring up the layer style. This time I'm going to change out what I have for my effects. I'm going to turn off outer glow and I'm going to do a gradient overlay. So I've clicked on the text to bring up the gradient. I'm going to come here and click on this gradient icon here. And then this brings up some gradient editor options. And what I want to choose is some version. I'm going to try, here's the red and sort of green, here's a purple and an orange, some red and blue, so you get the idea. I'm going to come through here and find something that I'd like to use. I'm actually going to come back over here to this red and green one, and down here is the editor for it, and I want to change out this icon color, this little house. It looks like a little tiny house. It's a color stop. If I double click it, then I can choose a different color I'd like to use for that stop. So I'm going to come through here and choose almost a sort of, let's put it back in the red, kind of like this here. And there we go. Click OK. So you can choose whatever colors you want. It's going to be based on what you've created here. And now click OK. So now I've created this gradient overlay on my text. So if I don't like it, click it, come back over and choose something different. Okay? So play around with this gradient overlay. I'm going to cancel that. If I don't like the gradient overlay, just turn it off. Come back over and choose something different. I'm going to try the stroke option. So I'll select stroke. I'm going to set my size down to 1. I'm going to make it an outside stroke. All right. My blend mode is set to normal. Opacity, I'm going to change the color of the stroke to white. All right. Click OK. Increase the size of that stroke. There you go. Now I want to do a color overlay, so I'm going to click on the word color overlay. I'm going to click on the color picker again. And this time I'm going to come outside, and notice I'm coming out. I'm going to pick a color in here that I might want to use. So I'm just picking up some colors that I might want to use, and then click OK. I'm going to set the opacity all the way up because I want it to be a really bright red, and click OK again. So now I've got two poster versions. Here's my second one. Turn that off. And here's my first one. All right. So let's turn that on. Let's save it. File and save. To save it out as a Photoshop. And then I want to save just this version of it. File, save as, change this to a JPEG, call it Electric 2, and save. So I can keep doing this, creating different versions of this poster. I want you to create at least 2 for this project.